Wow! Phoenix, Arizona! Great to be back for the second time in as many years. The Octagon girls are here. Brittany Palmer, Vanessa Hansen, Chrissy Blair, greatest matchmaker in the world, Sean Shelby, is with us as well. Let's get things started. The ESPN Plus prelims. First up, in the women's strawweight division, Alexandra Stitch Albu versus Emily Spitfire Whitmire.
I'm Emily Spitfire Whitmire. I have a 3-2 record. I'm fighting out of Extreme Couture in Las Vegas, Nevada. This one's for all my teammates back home. Thanks, guys.
That's right, she's fighting out of Las Vegas, but originally from Oregon. She's 3-2 in an MMA career, 1-1 inside the UFC, and actually still works as a full-time waitress, part-time waitress. Doesn't need to, but she just loves it so much. Let's hope she serves up a fight of the night.
Ooh, good one.
Okay,
and she is taking on Alexandra Albu, who's been out of the octagon since July 29th of 2017. That's about 19 months. And before that fight, that was the fight with Kylan Curran that did so well. Before that one, she was out of the octagon for over 2 years. So she's only had one fight in about 4 years. We'll see how she comes out for this one. Certainly looking the part of an ultimate fighter right there.
I was going to say, she might have been away from the octagon for a while, but she looks like she's definitely still doing the sit-up routine, because those abs, my word.
She does CrossFit and she's a personal trainer as well. And if you look at her Instagram, that's what we call Fitspo.
All right, next up in the bantamweight division, Henin the Baron Barao versus Cool Hand Luke Sanders.
Cool Hand Luke Sanders is bouncing back from a loss, and he said that he needs to get this fight to keep his job. He needs to win this one. He needs to keep his job, rather, I would say. And his back's against the wall, but he said this is the position that he likes to be in.
135 and a hook, the official weight for Luke Sanders. And his opponent is the former UFC bantamweight champion. Please welcome.
Well, Henin Barao, here's a guy. He was touted as the future of the division at one point. He had a record of 32-1. Since then, he's struggled a little bit lately, and he struggled on the scale this morning. Unfortunately, Henin missed weight by 2 pounds, pardon me. So 20% of his purse is going to go to his opponent. So that sucks. That gives your opponent a mental edge already, you know? Absolutely.
So we do know fighters who come in heavy often win.
Yeah, and Henin, as I say, I mean, he was just incredible back in the day.
All right, back now to the strawweight division. Jessica Penne versus Jody Escobar.
Well, I'm talking about Jody Escobar, but Sugar, I feel like I should ask you. You say she is an OG. This woman has been in the game for a long time. You first started training with her at Jackson Wink, I guess it is?
Yeah.
Years ago. She was formerly a boxer before getting into MMA, but she's an OG.
She really is. You know, she was back in the day with Holly Holmes and trained alongside of us before there was even a weight class for her to fight. And she was just always in the gym trying to pursue the dream of being a fighter.
The official
and now
weight
here she
for
is,
Jody
stepping in
Escobar.
front of the fans here.
And her opponent making her 5th UFC appearance tomorrow night. Please welcome Jessica Penne.
Well, here comes Jessica Penne from San Diego. She trains at Alliance MMA. She also had some struggles with the scale today. She missed weight by 2 pounds, weighed in at 118 pounds, so 20% of her purse will go to her opponent.
Jessica Penne, 2 pounds.
Jessica's also been out of the octagon for quite a while, but she's a 13-year MMA veteran. These two pioneers for women's MMA.
Absolutely, and you see Keith Jardine back in the corner, my old teammate, supporting his girlfriend, Jody Escobar.
The Dean of Mean.
All right, now we get to the ESPN prelims. These next 4 fights can be seen live on ESPN. First up in the lightweight division, Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman versus Nick the Carney Lentz. First fighter to the scale, making his 22nd UFC appearance, Nick Lentz.
Okay, so Nick Lentz, I mean, he's been around for a long, long time, a wealth of experience, professional record of 29-9. And coming into this fight, talking a little smack, saying the first thing he had to do when he heard he was fighting Holtzman was to Google him, because he had no idea who he was. I don't know if he's being honest, but then he says, but I guarantee my opponent knew who I were, because I'm a big deal, Karen.
Well, if he didn't know who he was, then he better do his research, because this guy right here is on a 3-fight win streak, and he's not playing around. He said that he changed his game around and started to be more concerned about his body with the recovery, rest and recovery, and now he's doing a lot less but getting a lot more and feeling a tons better. He's away from home right now, which gives him that extra edge coming in training camp. Look for him tomorrow to come out there and fight hard, because he's doing this for his family. And look at how ripped he is, man. He's in phenomenal shape right now. Nick Lentz is a stablemate of mine, so this is going to be a good one to see.
All right, moving on now to the women's flyweight division. Ashlee Rebel Girl Evans-Smith versus Andrea KGB Lee.
Well, hailing from Texas, she's got her cowboy hat on. There's Andrea KGB Lee. She is a 9-2 flyweight. She actually discovered the sport because she was a waitress at a sports bar, and the fights would constantly be on when she was working. She said she fell in love, she found a gym, got herself a trainer, and now she's made her dream a reality.
And her opponent, currently ranked number 12 in the world at flyweight, Ashlee Evans-Smith.
So I spoke with Ashlee's wrestling coach, Kenny Johnson. Now, she's been working at Black House for the first time, and I asked him what he thought about her. He said, listen, she had extra time since she had to pull out from her last fight to really work on a lot of things. He said she's extremely coachable. She puts everything into her training. He said this is the exact kind of athlete that a coach would hope to have.
126, the official weight this morning.
That's a great thing, because when you have an
Ashlee
athlete like that
Evans-Smith.
who's willing to learn, sky's the limit on how fast they can develop and grow.
I've worked with Ashlee on UFC Now as well. She's just a cool chick.
Yeah, she really is.
Really cool chick.
All right, our next prelim is in the UFC bantamweight division. Benito Golden Boy Lopez versus Manny Bermudez.
Yeah, Manny Bermudez, the third person to actually miss weight, unfortunately, by a whopping 4 pounds. So once again, 20% will go to his opponent. But all of that aside, this guy is a real prospect. 13-0, absolute finisher, loves the triangle. In his UFC debut, took out the very, very good Davey Grant in fantastic style. Keep an eye on this kid. Weight missing or not, he's excited.
Golden Boy Benito Lopez.
I'm Benito Golden Boy Lopez. I'm fighting out of Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, California. I have a perfect 9-0 record, and I'm going for number 10 tonight.
Yeah, Benito's been out for a year. He had a couple injuries following his momentum on fighting on Dana White's show, the Contender Series, and now he's back in action. He looks at dispatch his tough opponent right now, both undefeated, and he says that he gets a knockout in this fight. Ooh. Look at this, all in the face right here.
And the crowd is loving it here.
Totally disrupt what I was saying.
All right, that brings us to our...
Here he is, the Funk Master.
Sterling. I'm 16-3, fighting out of Cerro Longo, Long Island, New York, and I got the best chain in the game.
The best chain in the game. Hopefully he's the best fighter in the game. Never mind the chains, but listen, this guy can fight. He's got excellent wrestling, very, very good striking. Trains with a fantastic team up there with Cerro Longo. Always fun to watch. I mean, he's talking about his chain. This guy's very, very charismatic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, big fan of this guy.
You gotta love when Ray Longo does that.
I know, yeah, totally.
Jimmie Rivera.
Well, this fight was about 5 years in the making. These guys fought on the same local circuit. Jimmie Rivera hails from New Jersey, and he's actually a member of Tiger Schulman's fight team. El Terror is his nickname, and he's been a terror for most of his competition. He's gone 22-2, beaten guys like John Dodson, Thomas Almeida, Uriah Faber, and Pedro Munoz. He's worked as a trainer at Tiger Schulman since he was 13 years old. This should be a great
It's a great fight. Yeah, I spoke with Jimmie for about a half an hour yesterday, and like you said, they've been really trying to get this fight for years.
All right, with that, we get to the main card for UFC Fight Night live on ESPN. First up, in the featherweight division, Andre Touchy Fili versus Myles Fury Jury.
Jury is bouncing back from his loss in his last fight, and Jury's been a long time in UFC, but he said it was the balance that he found in his life that gave him the key to success, and now that he's looking at through those eyes with a balanced look, he sees that, you know, success for him is just going out there and having a good camp. He said if he has good camp, then that work will show up later on in the fight, even if he does not win.
UFC appearance tomorrow night, Andre Fili
Well, Andre Fili, the member of Team Alpha Male, he's been around for a while, always exciting in his fights. Actually branched out from Team Alpha Male recently. He's been training at another gym, working on his striking game, which in my opinion was already very, very good. So I'm expecting to see some new wrinkles tomorrow.
145.5 for
6 first-round finishes, 8 wins by KO.
What a great nickname Andre Fili has.
Gee, how'd he get that, Megan?
I wonder who gave it to him, Megan.
That's like my claim to fame in life. I gave Andre Fili the nickname.
I love it. I love it. I'm the
You
one.
just stop talking about yourself.
Fantastic. You love it.
All right, next up in the UFC's welterweight division, Vicente, the silent assassin Luque, versus Bryan Bam Bam Barberena.
Barberena's coming to this fight the underdog, and Barberena feels that, you know, this is when he comes to life. You know, when his back's against the long wall, this is when he comes to life and he gets to win, and he's going to have to do that against a very tough Luque. And you know what? When your back's against the wall, that's when you got to do it.
170 and a
And you know
half
how
for
good Luque
Bryan
is, don't you?
Barberena.
As a
Sure
Black
do.
Zillion.
One of my old teammates.
That's right.
And his opponent, the
That is
silent
quite the hairstyle
assassin,
as well from
Vicente
Barberena.
Luque.
His barber did
Oh,
something.
there you
There's a
go.
joke there somewhere, Mike.
Man.
Work with me, work with me.
Next time.
Well, there's his opponent, Vicente Luque. And Rashad, like you said, you know him because he was on the Team Black Zillions for the Ultimate Fighter Season 23. He used to split time between Florida and Brazil to train. This
171,
camp he
the
did
official weight
fully in
for
Brazil.
Vicente Luque.
Interesting fact, his mom is a black belt in karate. So you know when he got in trouble at home, he was legitimately scared.
I love it.
All right, next up, we got a good one in the UFC's featherweight division. Bruce Leroy Caceres versus Kron Gracie. First fighter to the scale, making his UFC debut tomorrow night, Kron Gracie.
So here is Kron Gracie making his UFC debut, the son of the legendary Rickson Gracie. For those people watching that don't know about the Gracies, they basically invented the sport of mixed martial arts back in the day. Absolutely legendary jiu-jitsu lineage.
146, the official weight.
Legend
for
in the jiu-jitsu
Kron
game,
Gracie.
crossed over to MMA, so far undefeated,
And his
4-0.
opponent tomorrow night makes his
Very interesting to
20th
see how he
UFC
does.
start.
And Nate Diaz in his corner,
Bruce
walking him
Leroy
out.
Caceres.
He's been training. I ran into Nate in LA. They've been working together for a while.
Caceres right here, 5,000 fight, and you know what? This is his 20th fight, so big shout out to Caceres. 20th fight, and you wouldn't even think this guy. I just still remember him being that young kid off the Ultimate Fighter show, and now he's got 20 fights in the UFC.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I remember covering
For
that
Mr.
event
Caceres.
and talking to him and Jonathan Brookins and amazing.
What an incredible honor to be a part of the UFC's 5,000th fight.
And this is a real clash of styles. You got the jiu-jitsu legend taking on Caceres, who dances around the place and is an incredible striker.
That brings us to a featured bout in the strawweight division. Cortney Cast Iron Casey versus Cynthia Calvillo.
I'm Cynthia Calvillo. I have a 7-1 record. I am fighting out of Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, California, and every opponent I've faced, I've taken down.
Yeah, Cynthia Calvillo is just a dynamo on the ground. Once she gets you there, it's kind of a matter of time. There's a lot of submission victories. And this is a woman who has had some problems on the scale in the past.
116,
She's saying this
the
time
official
taking
weight
full
for
advantage of the
Cynthia
UFC's
Calvillo.
Performance Institute. The opportunity to have the nutritionist work for her. She said she's never felt better. Easiest weight cut for her. That spells
And her
trouble for
opponent
Casey. I
at
gotta
the
be
MMA
honest.
lab right here in Phoenix,
her hair is
Arizona.
fabulous.
Hair
Cortney
fabulous.
What is the
Cast
moving of the
Iron
stomach?
Casey.
The nutritionist.
She wants to eat, yeah.
Well, as you can hear, the crowd is loving Cortney Casey, who is fighting out of Arizona. She trains at the MMA lab with just an all-star roster there. She's actually, though, a former D1 soccer player. She played at the University of Texas, El Paso, but now she holds a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And she believes Cynthia is going to come to fight, which is exactly what she wants. She said she hopes she brings that Diaz attitude.
All right, Megan, with that, I love
There
it.
we go.
It looks like
Yeah,
she's
baby.
bringing a Diaz
I'm
attitude.
telling
Yup.
you, these girls are fierce,
What
Megan.
she wanted.
I believe you're going to try to catch up with
Yes.
Cynthia. We will see you in a bit.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us
All
here.
right, with that fine backdrop, we get to the co-main event in the UFC's lightweight division. James the Texecutioner Vick versus the Irish Dragon, Paul Felder.
So Paul Felder here walking onto the scale. Well, this morning was the first time, but he said this was the easiest weight cut of his career. He was super strict on his diet, brought in a nutritionist, and as I say, super strict, had no sugars, no rice or anything like that.
155 and a hook.
The nutritionist was George Lockhart, and there he is looking absolutely ripped. Paul Felder, always
and
exciting.
His opponent, number 10 in
Excellent
the world,
knees and elbows in the clinch. Looking forward to this one.
Vick stepped into the octagon on the heels of his biggest upset, you know, and Vick said he learned tremendously a lot from that last fight, and Vick looked at the chance to fight Paul with a lot of redemption and looked for him to come out there and fight hard. You know, he was very happy with the fact that the UFC still had faith in him to put him at a co-main event and look for him to go out there and shine tomorrow.
Yeah, these two are respectful guys, so I don't think we'll see any shenanigans here, which is unfortunate.
I know! I was hoping for some.
All right, now it's time to take a closer look at the men on the marquee, the two heavyweight contenders who will collide in tomorrow night's 5-round main event. Take a look.
Why do I think that I'm going to be the heavyweight champion again?
Cain Velasquez is something special.
I just know that I have what it takes to beat everybody.
Total domination!
In the UFC's debut on ESPN, you have Francis Ngannou versus Cain Velasquez returns home to the octagon after a 2-year layoff.
I feel stronger. I feel more explosive, more powerful. I think that has to do with just the time off, with letting everything heal. You're going to see a much better Cain Velasquez.
But will it be an unpleasant welcome back because he is facing a beast in Francis Ngannou?
I'm 32 years old, and I just started this sport. I keep learning, keep gaining experiences. Maybe I might stumble, but I don't see how I cannot be the world champion.
Oh! Ngannou knocks Arlovsky down! That is it!
Francis Ngannou knocked people out and knocks people out bad. We are still searching space for Alistair Overeem's head.
Down goes the ream! Francis Ngannou!
What he did to Curtis Blades was so impressive because Curtis Blades was on a tear. It was a throwback performance.
Oh! Look at the top with the right hand! That's it! He's back!
But the guy that he's fighting, this guy's easily the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time. From the moment the referee said go, it was destruction until the ref pulled him off of his opponent.
Oh, Luque! He's Luque to the body! Lesnar's in big trouble! It is all over! Cain Velasquez!
I know I can get back to that greatness of being the heavyweight champion again. You know, if it's 1 fight, 2 fights, 3 fights for a title fight, then, you know, then so be it. I just have to go out there and win.
I have to go forward my dream. I have to chase it. I'm more determined than ever. This fight won't go longer, first or second round.
You know, in that cage, there can only be one. And it's gonna be me.
First fighter to the scale, the former two-time UFC heavyweight champion, the Arizona State Sun Devil, Cain Velasquez!
The heavyweight king has returned. Just listen to this crowd. Cain is making his return on ESPN, and absolutely poetic it is. You know, as an athlete who struggled to stay healthy towards the end of my career, my hat goes off to Cain Velasquez, who is making his return after a 2-year return. And look at the excitement that he has. Tomorrow's going to be epic.
Yeah, he's just soaking up the moment right now, and rightly so.
Francis Ngannou.
Obviously, Ngannou not popular here, but here's a fun fact. When Ngannou first got exposed to mixed martial arts 8 years ago, he Googled who the best ever heavyweight was. The answer, Cain Velasquez. And now here they are, the main event, which is an incredible coincidence, but look at this man. Such an athlete, very, very nice guy, but I'm telling you, inside the octagon, this man is a monster. These guys have been pretty friendly all week, so I'm expecting, you know, no argy-bargy here, no pushing or shoving. There's a lot of respect, but tomorrow night, it's on.
All right, first we will grab a minute with the former two-time UFC heavyweight champion, Cain Velasquez, Arizona's finest. Welcome home. This has got to feel pretty good, man.
It feels great. I'm gonna feed off all your energy tomorrow. It starts tomorrow on the way to the top.
There he is. All the best tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Cain Velasquez. And we step over here and talk to this mountain of a man, Francis Ngannou. Congrats on another UFC main event. You seem to like the booze. Your thoughts on what we're going to see here tomorrow night?
Yes. I want to hear the crowd tomorrow night. I mean, it doesn't matter how they hear, but I want to hear them tomorrow night. And they might be going to be surprised, you know. They're going to have fun there.
We wish you all the best. There he is, Francis Ngannou.
So, of course, guys, an interesting
Phoenix,
fact,
Arizona,
in the
we love
time
you.
that
Thank you all
Cain
for
has
coming to the
fought
weigh-in.
once,
We'll see you at the
he
talking
has
stick
fought
for the fights
7
tomorrow night.
times. Ngannou is ready. So listen, guys, Sunday, here is a look at our festivities prelims at 5:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Then head over to ESPN at 7 Eastern for more prelims, followed by the main card, which is also on ESPN at 9. After the main event, we will see you right back here on ESPN+ for our post-show where we will wrap up the night's festivities.